Here is the most surprising thing I read this week, that 80% of companies that have rolled out autonomous AI in their business say they cut headcount because of it. 80% of them. But Gartner pulled the data and found that companies that fired people are getting almost the same return on investment as the companies that did not. So a lot of the layoffs you're reading about right now, not actually paying for themselves yet. So it changes how you should be reading about every AI layoff headline for the rest of this year. Stay with me. We're going to cover 3 findings, 1 industry deep dive on HR, and a tool you should know about by Friday. Every week, I read what I can about how AI is shaping work and careers, and I pick a few things to cover to support mid-career professionals and to help them with what they need to know and follow the narratives out there so that we can stay clear in the uncertainty and manage our own careers the best that we can. So what does this all mean for the path that you were on? Let's dive into the sources for this week. As I mentioned, Gartner this week put out a finding May 5th, 80% of companies deploying autonomous AI laid off workers. But the layoffs did not correlate with ROI. So the savings story is real. The productivity story is not yet real. So it's very easy for companies to want to say it's AI when really it could be for so many other reasons. They're using this as a very simple excuse to make their narrative of layoffs acceptable. That said, they've probably been in the works for a while, and it could be due to downturns in their business overall. The honest version is that AI made cuts available, and big difference is that if you're an employee, this gives you cover to ask hard ROI questions. If you're a leader, slow down, because there's a small but real body of evidence that cutting before redesigning work is how you end up rehiring in 18 months. So our next topic is from Fortune magazine, an article that came out May 4th from Greenhouse Data. 38% of candidates have already dropped out of a hiring process because it had an AI interview. I find this amazing. 63% of US job seekers said they have completed an AI interview. And obviously this is something that organizations are trying to see how this goes, maybe trying to get more consistent questioning and results. But clearly the candidate experience is not great and people are pushing back and maybe even rejecting companies as a result. So it's not really a fringe issue at this level of rejection. So it is a backlash. So if your company uses AI for interviews, you may be losing candidates at the screen step who you don't even know you lost. So if you are job hunting, maybe ask before you prep if this matters to you. Again, I think there's ways we're using AI that's customer facing, client facing, candidate facing across the board that may not be the right placement for AI. And we need to really think where the human needs to be in the loop and where the AI can serve with the analytics. So next one, Coinbase. As of May 5th, they cut 14% of their staff. Again, another story here about blaming AI that said they didn't just cut, they eliminated what their CEO called pure managers. So this is worth noting. They replaced them with player coaches, so people who manage and produce work themselves. And then this goes along with an IBM published CXO study saying CEOs expect 29% of employees to need a different role within 2 years and another 53% to be upskilled. So translation, if you're a mid-career manager, is that if your value is mostly coordinating, your role might be exposed. So I think they're really trying to not only take out layers of administrative fluff, they're also thinking about redeploying management towards management of agents and oversight. So the management role isn't necessarily going away, but it may be changing on what and who is managed towards what outcome. The vulnerable manager might have a primary value of coordinating others, meeting cadences, status reviews, delegation, and they may be exposed to an AI layer here, especially if it's a lot of managing upwards and coordinating silos. So the resilient player coach has a value of producing and shipping value. Their core outputs would still be domain expertise, individual contribution, and they can add AI fluency because agent management will be a thing, judgment, edge cases, critical thinking. and there will be a new core managerial measurement along with this. So again, overall, AI is not a one-on-one human substitution. And if you try to make it that way, you'll probably end up rehiring in 18 months. What's really going on that's becoming successful and in the news is this concept of job redesign. And again, we've seen this throughout my episodes that companies, whether they're laying off or adding headcount, where new roles are being created, whatever, the success is really coming from taking a pause and saying, what does work now look like in the AI era, where agents can do quite a few things? Tasks are being pulled away from employees. Do we need less employees? Do we need different employees? Do we need different skills for our employees? And what does that look like? So the redesign coming before the human resource shifts may be the way to go. And basically people in their mid-career can really be involved in this step and stepping forward. So we're going to talk about HR next. And that said, HR's priority checklist is going to be part of this in terms of they have a big role in rewriting jobs and auditing candidates and publishing transparent AI hiring one-pagers. So let's dive into HR and talent management, because all the three findings we walked through are hitting there. So the trends to watch, the AI interview piece we just spoke of, is major. So HR executives need to really consider this. So before they lay off their screeners and things like that, they need to be thinking about how this is going to be received by candidates as the first interaction that they would have with your company. Culture still matters. The culture piece is huge, and we cannot have AI replace culture overnight. That is already showing to be a problem. So, of course, the next one about the management layer being compressed into player coach roles is also about redesign, right? So we're going to have HR need to work with stakeholders and all the layers in the organization to understand how roles are shifting and how to recreate job descriptions aligned with that. The last one is that agentic systems are absorbing recruiting ops work. This is a new topic for today, and that sourcing, scheduling, and screening summaries are now being done by agents faster than an HR person can, or a service model can adjust. 3 things you can actually do this month if you're an HR professional. 1, you can pull your AI screen drop-off rate and compare it to your pre-AI baseline. That'll give you some real data on where these tools may be being rejected. Pressure test your job architecture against the player coach model. Find the 5 to 10 manager roles in your org that are most exposed to compression and start the rewrite. And put a one-pager on your career site explaining what your hiring AI does and does not do. Candidates are asking, and the company that answers first wins. We have a few different tracks here. So recruiting coordinators within the HR space maybe would be changed into high-touch candidate experience design and oversight. So upskilling towards that may be a job security measure. Compensation analysts, like the analysts of any kind, are likely a threat to AI because of the rapid ability for the AI to manage so much data with benchmarking, market sweeps, and policy lookups. So really, an analyst's best approach would be to resolve strategic edge cases and work on governance around the AI logic in that. And L&D program managers who are doing content authoring and deck building, those are getting automated as well. So shifting to behavioral diagnosis, evaluation, and driving change. There is a new emerging opportunity in the HR space called the AI hiring ethicist. This was validated by 3 Fortune 500 postings in Q1 of 26 that a cross-functional partner certifying hiring AI and owning bias. So AI cannot write itself out of this job. This is a big one and probably will become more important as time goes on. Okay, so as we go into the tool discussion, I just want to create the context talking about the era of the agent swarm, right? So agents are everywhere and they're being built by individuals, right? So employees are building and deploying autonomous agents, whether it's in Copilot Studio and AWS Bedrock, and also whether using ChatGPT. That's shadow AI in the organization, and ungoverned agents acting under corporate identity and touching HR and financial data is a big risk. And employees may not know how to put the right guardrails on the agents that they're creating to stop them from creating that risk. So, the tool of the week is Microsoft Agent 365. And it's actually not really an agent. It went generally available on May 1st. It's $15 per user per month, separate from Copilot. So what it is it's a dashboard your IT team uses to see, govern, and secure every agent in your environment. So the headline feature is a single registry with every agent, including the ones your team built in Studio without telling IT, in one view. So this is really about governance. I think we're going to be seeing more of this, and this is where Microsoft is got some advantages on the security side for the enterprise space. That is our update for the week. Your playbook, as we said, is ask for the ROI. So when you're hearing about layoffs, don't just blame AI. Know the data, know that most cuts that are happening are probably multidimensional, and not all of them are productive. Keep your hands on the craft. The player coach model is no longer hypothetical. So your defense is individual contribution, not only coordination. I want to say not coordination, because coordination is actually more important than ever as it relates to adoption of AI within your organization and also managing the AI itself. Govern before you scale. So whether it's candidate AI interviews or internal agent swarms, build the policies within your organization, redesign the work before the tech outruns your architecture. And last, the AI Fluent Mid-Career Generalist strategy plus execution plus AI tool fluency is the most valuable profile in the market right now. And the data is backing this up. So we hope this was useful. We hope to see you next week. Please comment. Please ask what you want more of. We're trying to keep these short, quick, and digestible. And that said, we look forward to tracking some patterns in the data coming next week.